Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? I would like to come over here with a very interesting but very important topic that needs to be addressed. So, as many of you probably know by now, because this is all over the headlines everywhere, I see it all over social media, and it's also in my newsfeed on Google. There were these group of scientists today that supposedly or allegedly cloned an extinct species of wolf that lived during the Pleistocene period of the prehistoric ice ages called the dire wolf. Yes, this is big news everywhere because these scientists are claiming that they just successfully brought back this extinct species back to life, but also used DNA samples of other related species that exist today. Now, I'm also hearing from other sources that they did not actually resurrect the dire wolf, but use samples of and DNA of other species of wolf, and then go on to say and claim that they de-extincted the dire wolf. But here are the dire wolf pups, okay, that they supposedly cloned, brought back from extinction. Now, y'all probably also heard recently about the creation of this lab mouse called the woolly mouse or the woolly rat. They are a genetically engineered species of lab rat or laboratory mouse created with woolly hair. And what scientists plan on doing with the woolly mouse is using its genome sequence and use surviving woolly mammoth DNA from fossils and embryos and mummies they found frozen in permafrost that have been, frozen for several thousands of years. So they have remnants of DNA and genetic material, surviving remnants of DNA and genetic material that they want to use from these fossilized, mummified, and frozen woolly mammoth carcasses, combine it with the woolly mouse, and recreate the woolly mammoth as we know today. All right? And I think this is just a very bad idea, okay? Because for one thing, these animals live in a totally different environment and climate than the world is today. So we don't even know for certain if these scientists, okay, successfully even attempt to bring the woolly mammoth back to life. It's not a guarantee that given today's current environmental conditions and climate, it's not a guarantee that they are going to last long. As a matter of fact, I think it was during the early 2000s, there were another group of scientists that attempted to bring back to life another extinct animal called the Pyrenean ibex. But when they did attempt to clone it, it didn't end up lasting and living long. It actually died shortly afterward. Okay? And these things just comes to show you, okay, that humanity just cannot play God. Humanity just can't play God. The Most High is the only master creator of life. Us humans can never, ever, ever mimic and replicate the Most High's creations. Okay? And with that said, even our own innovations, all these electronic devices that we use, they're not bound to last long. Technology is not bound to last long either. Okay? Because really and truly, it is not natural to that environment. Yes, we do use, minerals from the earth, especially from, places in Africa rich with resources to make all these electronic devices that we use today. But most of it is still artificial, especially artificial intelligence and robots. It's not bound to last long. It's not bound to last long. Our infrastructures are not also bound to last long either. Okay? You see, in the case with many abandoned buildings, plants and trees and flowers just end up overtaking and growing over them. Okay? But I want to make a point. Okay? These scientists are so busy trying to bring back and recreate and clone extinct species just so the world can enjoy off of their existence and see these extinct animals from bygone eras up close. Now, I don't know if it's really and truly for our thrill and enjoyment, or if this is just money making. Because these video game companies, they really and truly don't make video games just for us to enjoy. Okay, it's all money grabbing at the end of the day. But these scientists are so busy and ambitious trying to recreate extinct animals and bring them back to life. Not to mention, we're also trying to, we're so ambitious. These scientists are so ambitious and trying to explore other planets, build life on Mars, have humans live on Mars and start a civilization in Mars. There's even talk of space hotels where people can go to and stay in space for a certain amount of time, just like how you do in hotels back here on Earth. No, thank you. No, thank you. I do not accept the offer because I love my home planet. I embrace my home planet, and there are just a bunch of priorities and issues going on Earth that I have to focus and prioritize and invest in. I don't know about y'all. I don't have time to be bringing back extinct animals to life, going to space and starting civilizations when we can't even take care of our own planet. Look at, as you can see in this collage I've made here. Okay, I made this collage. Look at all these animals. Take a look at and imagine all the life we have lost on Earth. As you can see in the bottom center of the picture, you can see the last known male rhinoceros that died in 2018 by the name of Sudan. He was the last of his kind. I believe the northern white rhinoceros. And now there's only two individuals of that species left, both of which are females, which makes the species functionally extinct. In which they're also trying to, use the genome sequence of these rhinos and, bring this species back from extinction. No, this is just not possible. You can't cause the extinction of a species and then bring them back to life. It's not feasible. It's either you fuck with the planet or you don't. And these fuckers, especially these crackers that run the world right now, they've shown you pretty well loud and clear that they don't give a fuck about this planet and they don't give a fuck about life. Don't forget, it's not just that, several extinctions of animals they've caused. Don't forget all the genocides and colonization they've caused all over the planet, especially in Africa. They've also annihilated, indigenous groups of people in Tasmania, which are, by the way, of African descent. They've also exterminated and completely wiped out several indigenous group of tribes and ethnicities in Central and South America that don't exist with us today, as well as the Native Americans. These fucking crackers caused so much despair and grief upon the whole world. And it's not just, extinct animals that they can't bring back, which they're not even sincere about. These motherfuckers can't bring you God. When they go to Africa and all these other impoverished places in the world, they want to talk about God. They want to talk about Jesus. How, Jesus died for our sins and, God is good. God is life. We should worship God. We should look up to God. These motherfuckers don't have any righteous blood in their bone and DNA. These are utterly wicked, evil, and unrighteous beings. They can't bring you life. They can't bring back extinct species back to life. And they cannot bring you no fucking God, religion, or spirituality that is righteous. It's all a facade. It's all kabuki theater and baloney. Now this collage I made of all these, extinct animals that we have lost, not in our lifetime, but during the start of human history. This is just a sample. There's many other species of animals we have lost than this. I just, can't fit them all in one picture. But we've killed off so many species of animals. And we still continue to do to this day. I'm reading that over the past several years, we've caused the extinction of, several bird species, especially those in Hawaii. And you motherfuckers want to talk about bringing woolly mammoths, saber-toothed cats, dodos, and rhinos back from extinction? No. You want to talk about Jesus? You want to talk about God, how God is the way? How, we should follow Jesus because he died for our sins? And he can bring us to heaven. These fucking demons, these fucking crackers don't know anything about righteousness and godliness and holiness. There's not a trace of anything holy in their DNA. These are pathologically and inherently wicked beings that we all need to stay away from. We need to wake up for once and realize that, we're dealing with wicked people. We are dealing with wicked beings. They can, no matter how much they try, if they even mean it at all, they can't bring anything good to you. They can't. These fuckers cannot be trusted. These fuckers cannot be trusted at all. This is why I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they do, especially, bringing extinct animals back to life. Why don't you fucking crackers and demons focus on taking care of the planet and preventing more animals from going extinct so that you don't even have to try to bring them back from extinction in the first place? When are you fuckers going to learn before we end up losing these species next? Now, again, just like in the previous collage, and by the way, I did not create this collage. I didn't have time because, it would take up so much time. This is just a collage I got off the internet. Shout out to and credits to whoever made this collage of, the endangered species of animals that live with us today. But when are you fuckers going to learn before these guys become the next ones to become extinct and our future generations are not going to be able to see, experience, and have fun with them? Future generations are going to be looking at these animals just like we do dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, and saber-toothed cats and dodos. How about instead of focusing on trying to go to space, starting civilizations there, and attempting to bring extinct animals back to life? How about you focus on taking care of the planet and preventing, life on Earth from dying out? Because you motherfuckers, and it's not just the fucking crackers, it's also the Asians as well. Don't forget, China also has a big overpopulation problem. And, they're also one of the top contributors to environmental destruction. Just take a look at the stuff they do in Africa. Colonizing Africa and doing just like what the Europeans did. And now they're doing it with the help of the Russians, causing huge environmental damage in Africa. And they poach a lot of Africans and rhinos for their horn and ivory and don't give a shit. Don't give two fucks about their conservation status and their risk of becoming extinct. These bastards don't give a fuck. And if you can spot real closely in this picture, I've also included the West African black rhinoceros, which became extinct actually in the past decade in 2011 due to the fucking Chinks and Japs poaching these poor rhinos for their horns and ivory for use in traditional Chinese medicine because, they have fucked up spiritual beliefs and they believe that, the horns of the rhino can bring everlasting life when there's actually no scientific evidence of that. It's proven that there's no scientific evidence that, these rhino horns prolong human life or lifespan. And their horns, by the way, are made of keratin, which is the exact same material that, our fingernails are made out of. Fun fact. But when are you fuckers and bastards going to learn? Are you even apologetic of all the, grief and destruction you've caused upon the whole world? No, you aren't. You're irremorseful. And that's why you continue to do wicked. That's why when we call white people and Asians out on their racism, they get very mad and, deflect and rebuttal. If you're not inherently wicked, there's nothing for you to get mad and offended about. Bottom line, is you motherfuckers really and truly are not going to save the planet and can't save the planet. And that's why y'all have fucked up birth rates. A lot of white people, a lot of, European countries and Asian countries have such very low birth rates and fertility rates. And that's the work of the Most High and the universe. Because the earth and the universe is sick and tired of y'all. Y'all are being getting rid of for all the wickedness and atrocities you've committed. These motherfuckers are just so pathologically, historically, and inherently wicked. They cannot bring anything good to you on the table. They just don't. And for the rest of us that really and truly care about this planet, it's up to us to take action. Because there's far too few of us. And we can't do this work and job alone. We need help. We need more people to wake up. Because the last thing I want to see are a whole plethora of species of animals becoming extinct. And this world becomes devoid of wildlife and the Most High's creations. Because we've destroyed and polluted the world so much. The world needs our help, y'all. The world is suffering and the world is crying. Mother Nature is crying. And don't forget about the ongoing lingering effects of the Fukushima radiation that's been killing life in our oceans and seas. Responsible for the mass deaths and beachings of all these whales and dolphins, sea turtles, sea lions, and seals. Don't forget, there's actually a black content creator on YouTube by the name of The Radical Sister. Again, her name is The Radical Sister. I believe she has multiple channels, if not one. She goes into depth about, how our world is suffering and, how all the man-made things we created is destroying the world. She goes really into depth about that. So I recommend you subscribe to her. I love that individual to death, and I really appreciate all the work that she does for melanated people, black people, as well as, speaking on issues of the environment and the planet, because it's dying. We've abused and tarnished this planet so much that we're killing it, and it's crying for help. So again, her name is The Radical Sister. She talks so much. Since I believe 2012, she's been on the Fukushima radiation, how it's not only destroying our life in our oceans, but also eventually it's going to end up destroying life on Earth as well. It's going to end up depleting the Earth's oxygen so fast. Because, the corals, the radiation that, has leaked from the Fukushima reactors for, years and years and years, it's been polluting and damaging, precious ecosystems and sacred ecosystems in the oceans, like our coral reefs. And, coral reefs provide a large percentage of the world's oxygen. And without coral reefs, life on Earth will eventually die. The Radical Sister also talks about the alarming disappearances of butterflies and bees, which, come to mention, I have not seen bees in such a long time. And, that's very, very, very concerning. Because bees are an important part of not just our survival, but nature's survival. We need insects to survive. If if you've studied and paid attention in biology class pretty well, you would understand how, these insects play a huge role in, our survival and nature's survival. And by them disappearing at such large numbers is very concerning to me. So again, for the billionth time, if you're not subscribed to the Radical Sister, I suggest you subscribe to her and learn as much from her as you can. She also sells books on Amazon. Huge shout out to her. I love her to death. And I appreciate and love the work that she does, because she's one of the very few individuals on the planet that talks about these matters, which nobody, sadly, unfortunately, does not care about, because this world is just full of reprobate-minded people and demons. So for the few of us that care, it's up to us to take action and to gain as much help and support as we can. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come over here and talk about this topic of woolly mammoths and dire wolves being brought back from extinction, and give you my thorough take on it. So let me know what you think about this as well, and I will see you guys on future videos.